What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today we'll be trimming and pruning our jujube tree. Alright, so as you guys will see in a minute, I've got a live jujube that's been growing pretty out of control. I haven't really done much to maintain it. I did want to experiment and see how some of the offshoots did and see what kind of fruit they yielded. It all went pretty well. I do want to keep at least one of the shoots to encourage cross-pollination, but as I'll show you in a minute, it is quite out of hand. This is something that you'll have to deal with when you're planting jujubes. If you're not mowing right around them and stuff, you're going to get shoots all over the place. So right now we're in late December, everything's dormant. It's a good time to do this kind of maintenance and prune if need be. Also, you can do this right before it breaks out of dormancy in early spring, late winter. But I'm walking by this a lot, I'm getting pricked a lot, so we're going to go ahead and clean it up. Given this is such a daunting task, I've got a hatchet. That's for some of the shoots that maybe they're roots that I can't get to. Shovel to dig some of those out, and some pruners and a little handsaw. So yeah, we'll go ahead and check it out and see how this goes. So this is what we're looking at as I'm backing out here, and the main leaders here are going to be the lye, that's the good cultivar. But on these offshoots, you can see them all over the place. I've trimmed them up in the past. They grow really quick. A little hard to see in its dormancy, but these things are all over the place. Another factor in this is I have a peach tree, not quite in dormancy quite yet. It's getting there. It's sleepy. But when there's foliage on everything, the jujube is close to competing with the peach there. That's something I'll look out for. If you'll also notice, I've done a lot of training with this too, staking and kind of pulling it in the direction I want. That's something I might do a little further if need be as well. Alright, so I don't have the entire thing in frame, but what I'm going to start working with is the bottom portion here. Every time I walk by, I'm getting stuck by this thing. In the past, I pruned off a lot of the prickers, and that is one way to kind of rectify the situation. But you know, I want this to be kind of a canopy tree. I might keep one of these suckers, but we don't need the whole mess here. So what I'm going to try to do first is prune some of this stuff out of the way, and then I'm going to start digging out some of these suckers that I can actually repot and graft onto anyway. So yeah, we'll start with this guy here. Probably should use gloves. I might run and grab some later. We'll see how this goes. Really, I'm just making it so when I dig it out, I have a decent access to grab it out of here. Alright, so this one's cleared out enough that I could get at the root system if I wanted to. I'm going to see how the shovel does. If it's way too thick and problematic, I may just kind of train this the way I want it out of my way. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to dig up some of this mulch here, kind of assess what I'm looking at. I can already see that this is going to get in my way as well. So I'll take off a little bit. Once I get some of these side shoots out of the way, where I want them, I can start actually pruning this one, which doesn't need all that much. I think I'm more concerned with maybe giving it some more tension this way and training it the way I want it while it's going. So I'm kind of assessing here, seeing how deep these go, and I think I've already kind of gotten at it. Yep. leather jacket or something while you're doing this, because I'm getting stuck quite a bit. You know, with most trees, you're going to want to worry about where you're cutting the roots and stuff. These things are so vigorous, it's almost impossible to kill them. So if I cut through some vital roots and stuff, I'm not that worried about it. Plus, these are offshoots. They're technically invasive. Kind of follow these roots. Oh man, see how far they go out. All right, so as you guys can see behind me, I've already taken one out. It wasn't that big of a chore, to be honest. The root did go about 4 feet the other direction, so that is something to watch out for. The more you let these things go, the wider they're going to sprawl out, and the more shoots you're going to get. So I'm just going to go ahead, since I showed you guys one, I'm going to kind of assess things, decide if I want to keep one, which I think I will. I think I'll keep this one away from the peach tree over here, and I'll go ahead and dig these guys out, and we'll come back and look at the progress. Alright guys, so I cleaned this one up a little bit so I could get around access to this one, but really with the roots being so close and to the mother here, I really don't want to take too much of the root system away from the mother. So what I'm going to do is kind of cut these at the surface. I know that potentially this could leave a lot more runners, but it will leave a lot of the roots that are being shared by both the mother and the shoots. It'll leave those intact to make sure this is nice and healthy, because I did take a good amount of roots out of this side of it. So what I'm going to end up doing is hand sawing majority of this on this side. Some of this, like this smaller portion, I can probably just hack out with the hatchet. This one I'm going to hand saw at the surface. That's a big one out of the way. And I was using a rope to train some of this. Guess I'll need the knife for that. But I'll go ahead and cut that loose. There we go. Free some of this up. I can get rid of this big guy. Okay. I think some of these smaller ones on the side I can just probably take care of with the shovel. Yep. That'll mitigate future shoots. I'm going to go ahead and reiterate that you should probably wear leather gloves when doing this. I've gotten pricked. There's a thorn right there. Not only in the hands quite a bit, but these things even pierce through your shoes, so you need to be careful. All right, now I'm just gonna kind of get the mulch dirt back. I probably need to remulch this actually. get everything kind of in place again. Gonna real quick just hand weed what I can see here. Also, on a side note, while it may be tempting, do not chop and drop this tree unless you're gonna use it for, you know, say you have some pests in a certain area like rodents or something and you want to keep them away. Because if you go back here and weed like I'm doing now, you're gonna get pricked a little bit. All right, so as we step out, I really haven't pruned anything too hard, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this one, give it a bit of a canopy, because I do like the cross-pollination aspect. And then we're gonna see what we need to do with this. I'll probably grab this leader here and pull it towards me a little bit, reuse this stake here, and it'll also get it away from the peach tree a little bit. While I can, I just wanna show you guys what I've been dealing with. Whole lot of this going on. This is a tiny one, not a big deal. Some of these bigger ones, they'll get you. So really, I'm just removing some of these lower ones. And now I'm kind of looking towards the shape where I want things to go. I really don't want it in my path here, so I'm getting all these lower branches. This one's crisscrossing this one, so I'll get rid of it. This one comes out a little too far into the path for me. This is my path, as well as this side and this side. Yeah, this one's crossing over towards that. Really, I'm just cutting these a little shorter. Maybe they'll go ahead and take off in an upward direction. And so when we're looking at this side, getting some of the lower ones, this one's crossing into that one too much. This one's a little low for my taste. I really don't want to be brushing by here in the future. Reuse this. This one's crossing the Lyjujube over here. I'm also removing any thorns I see. A lot of these shorter little offshoots here, the branches, will be fruiting in the spring. So I'm not too worried about this one. The fruit's not amazing. I do like it, but my only other thing here is this is going out into the path too much. If I chop it up here, it's going to encourage upward growth. A little crisscross there. And I also want to kind of guide it away from this one a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and pull this lie away first before I do that. So I'm going to kind of approximate here. I'm going to do something like this, and I'll need to stake it. And I'm wondering if I'll have to kill my path by staking it. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so I actually found a stronger, yeah, it's a little thicker and a little longer. Let me just reevaluate this. Yeah, that should work just fine. So let's pound that in. A little trial and error. I'm actually gonna, angle it back a little bit for tension. Okay, see, we have about 1.5 feet more to work with. And I could probably go a little higher on this too while I'm here. And that's going to be, I'd like it to be about that high, but we'll make this work. So with it being a little higher, I'm going to go back down here. And we're going to try to tighten that up as much as we can. This is something that I'll probably have to do some maintenance on as time goes by, but we'll get the gist going. As you can see, I'm already gonna have to pound it in more and give it a little more tension. Don't pay attention to what kind of knots I'm using because I don't know what they're called. I just do what I do. All right, so I'll try to give this a little tension, pound it in a little more. One other thing I can do is use this lower stake to my advantage. Check this out. So I'm going to take this and tie it alongside of this so I actually get a little more strength, not quite so much resistance. That's going to keep things a little more stable. There we go. And like I said, this tension and everything isn't etched in stone. Little by little I can start pulling up more, pounding that further in. But for now, we're off to a good start. We're clearing away a lot further from this peach tree canopy. So right now I'll probably pan up so you guys can see what I'm pruning off here. Nothing too drastic, other than the fact that this leader is getting a little more prolific than this one. I'm actually using my ladder behind me as like a little mini greenhouse for, I think that's my sweet sop or sour sop. Anyway, it's already defoliated, but it's all green still. But I am protecting it a little bit in our winter months. But yeah. So right now, I really want the canopy to go out this way. We've got this guy competing in with the other leader. This one I won't mind coming out so much. This one I'd like to encourage growth out this way a little more. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Kind of ugly there, but I'm gonna let it do its thing. Probably cut this too, so hopefully it'll go out this way. And for the most part, there's not all that much maintenance to be done in the canopy. While I'm here, that's kind of just too much in my face. And this guy, encourage growth outward. A little bit of a mess here. Some of these are fruiting spurs. I'm not too worried about it this year. Let's see. I did say this was probably going to compete a little more once we got in this vicinity. Once we pulled this back, I think I'm just going to go ahead and take this whole guy out. And that's not too bad. We'll have a few fruits on there too. It'll be cool. I think I like everything that this side of the leader's doing. I don't see too much competition here. The only thing that I see is this leader's higher than this one. And I think I'm going to just top it a little bit. Probably after the math, after this video, because I've got, I don't know, we'll see. All right, just to kind of recap here, I'll probably remulch this, but everything's looking a lot cleaner down there. We have one side shoot over here. I'm gonna let go, develop a little canopy. We have the two leaders here. As we go up, this is a nice canopy on the left. To the right, it's getting a little, I'd like them a little more on the same level. It's not crazy. I could probably let it go this year, which is probably why I may just top probably to about right here on this right leader. They will put out a lot of growth once spring comes, but I do not want it competing too much over here with my peach. Alright guys, well I think that's going to do it for today's video. As you can see, things have drastically been a lot more cleaned up. There's a lot more area for paths, growth of other trees, and as far as having a food forest of this nature, really close and compact, maintenance, pruning, that's just part of the deal. If you want to keep a wide variety of fruit trees in a small space, this is just, part of it. So especially jujubes in general, you will get lots of shoots. Like I said, if you have it, somewhere where you're gonna mow around it all the time, you don't even have to worry about that. But the way I have things set up back here, yeah, it's something that I kind of manually have to crack into. But like I said, I have at least one really good candidate to, I can go ahead, top that off and graft this lie back onto it, especially right after we're starting to break out of dormancy. Perhaps I'll do a video for you guys on that. That's pretty much all there is to it. Be sure and comment below if you have any questions or additional information you'd like to add. And if you haven't subscribed by now, consider doing so. I do a lot of different grafting tutorials, all sorts of stuff that you guys might want to keep up with. All right, again, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.